Ahli-ahli yang berhormat, ingin saya dengan hormatnya menjemput Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri John Sikianatayai, Menteri di Jabatan Premier, untuk menyampaikan ucapan pergolongan. Silakan.
Selamat petang, salam sejahtera, salam Sarawak maju makmur dan salam Sarawakku sayang. Tuan Speaker, Yang Berhormat ahli-ahli Dewan yang mulia ini, I would like to thank Tuan Speaker for giving me the opportunity to deliver my winding up speech this afternoon relating to the Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak and Mahkamah Bumi Putra Sarawak, and matters referred to me on the Unit Pentadbiran and Unit Pengurusan Immigration, Buruh and Buruh, State Implementation Monitoring Unit, and Premier's Department of Sarawak. Now I start my speech relating to the Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, the Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak, or MAIS, was established with Majlis Adat Istiadat Ordinance 1977, primarily as an advisory body to advise the young Kedua Negeri Sarawak and the Cabinet on matters relating to the Adat of the natives of Sarawak. The other functions of the Majlis may be summarized as the prevention, promoting, and dissemination of Adat of the natives. As long as the natives of Sarawak live in social groups, most Adat are still important for the regulation of their social, economic, and political relations. These are still many affairs peculiar to the native communities in their traditional environment, which are not regulated by the laws of Sarawak and the federal laws. In view of the rural-urban immigration of natives, Adat is also important and practiced by the native communities in cities and towns. Adat, in this instance, are used as tool to administration and management of the native communities at the grassroots or longhouse and the kampung level. As such, Adat are quite similar in importance to the laws of Sarawak and the country, Malaysia, for the regulation of the social, economic, and political relations of the people in general. With regard to the advisory roles and function of MAIS, the majority of 11 members are appointed among the community leaders of the major races of Sarawak, namely Temengok and Pemanca. They are knowledgeable in Adat, culture, and tradition in their respective race. Now, I'd like to highlight some of the programs and activities of the Majlis Adat Sarawak and its function in preservation, promotion, and dissemination of Adat. First, provision of Adat. Preservation of Adat confines mainly to research, study, and codification of Adat. The learning and the teaching of Adat is based on oral tradition, that is by words of mouth and listening. The depository of knowledge of Adat is in the memories of the elders and would be disappear with their demise. The survival of knowledge depends on the prevailing social circumstances and memories of the younger generation. Modernization, conversion to Christianity and other religion and other social changes and development are challenging and depending in the relevance and the significance of Adat. As such, there seems to be a trend that the relevance and significance of some Adat are demised, while some Adat are discarded and abandoned. Tuan Speaker, there are growing concern for the loss of knowledge in Adat among the current generation of natives. The loss of knowledge in Adat is not like the loss of money. We can recover the loss of money, but we may never recover the loss of knowledge in Adat. It may be a loss forever. In view of the circumstances I've mentioned, MAIS is racing against time In its effort to preserve adat, during the last 10 months of this year, MYS has conducted 29 series of workshops and fieldworks for data collection through interviews, discussion, dialogues, and with the Badayu, Iban Melanau, and the Orang Ulu communities. The main focus of the activities are on adat relating to settlement matters, family matters, and land and property. MYS has received a request from some Ramon community leaders in Syrian to preserve the adat through codification. This community has been presumed to be part of the Iban race in the adat as similar to the adat practiced by the Iban. However, some Ramon communities leaders contended that adat Ramon are quite different and distinct from the adat Iban. The Ramon language, if I may say so, the tradition are quite different from the Iban language. There are some terminologies which are peculiar to the Ramon. The aim, among others, is to preserve their traditional knowledge, identity, culture, tradition, legacy, and history. 4 engagement sessions in the forms of dialogue and discussions have been conducted with Ramon community leaders this year. The sessions are still in the initial stage and more engagement with them to be conducted in the near future. The Selako Rara community in Lundu has requested MYS to conduct a study and incorporate the adat in which are peculiar to the community in Adat Badayu 1994. For this purpose, 5 engagement sessions in the form of dialogues and discussions have been conducted with this community. This effort is in its initial stage of the study. The community leaders from the Kayan and Kenyah communities have requested the codified adat Kayan Kenyah 1994 to be separated and to become 2 districts and different adat named Adat Kayan and Adat Kenyah. The reason is that there are some obvious differences or variation in their languages. In addition, there are dissimilarities between the Kayan and the Kenyah in the Miri division and the Kayan and Kenyah and the Kapit and Bentulu division. MYS would carry out the study work next year. The other provision of adat focuses mainly on review of the codified adat and data collection, the flood of social changes and development which are taking place in the native community to have, to a certain extent, this MYS the relevance and the significance of adat. Under such circumstances, adat have to be renovated or reinterpreted to adjust and adapt them to new social circumstances. Otherwise, adat would be irrelevant and would die a natural death. In some cases, there are new social situation arise, but there is no clear adat to regulate that situation. In such circumstances, new adat have to be formulated to regulate the affairs or relation. Towards this end, MYS has organized 8 sessions for the Iban, 12 for the Badayu, 6 for the Orang Ulu, and 3 for the Melanau. The sessions were mainly workshops, dialogues, interviews, and roundtable discussions. Now, promotion of adat. Promotion of adat focus on giving the awareness and the importance of adat to the native communities. In this respect, MYS has organized 4 courses. 1 is for the Iban, Badayu, Orang Ulu, and Melanau. MYS also conducted an engagement session involving the native Kedua Mesyuarat Kedua Sarawak, enlightening challenges and way forward for the MYS at Kuching in June 2023. This session has successfully enlightened the Kedua Mesyuarat on relevant matters pertaining to the adat. In addition to these courses, MYS has conducted 8 outreach programs relating to the awareness and promotion of the registration of native marriage and divorce under the Native Adat Marriage Electronic System, or NAMS. This is an administrative system for the registration of native marriage and divorce under the adat. The system was initially to record, manage, and monitor marriage and divorce under adat. The system is accessible to all district officers and sub-district officers. The access has been extended to Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara or JPN for verification of marital status of any native person wishing to solemnize his or her marriage under Law Reform or Marriage or Divorce Act 1976. Tuan Speaker, MICE participates in the Sarawak Government Digital Initiative. In this regard, MICE has completed the upgrading of names to Native Marriage Electronic System Version 2 or NAMS V2 in May 2023. This innovation enabled the public to fill in the proposal details in Surat Pengesahan Perkahwinan Ketua Kampung or for verification purposes by the district and sub-district office. NAMS V2 is now one of the state services available through the Sarawak Government portal. NAMS V2 possesses a comprehensive data on adult marriage and divorce in Sarawak. Since June 2023, NAMS V2 has processed 645 adult marriage registration. In line with this new digital initiative, MICE would continue to support the users of connecting trainings for all district and sub-district officers. Tuan Speaker, dissemination of knowledge in ADAT is very important and crucial for the survival and development of ADAT. At the moment, MICE is providing basic training of ADAT to the Ketua Masyarakat and Ketua Kaum, or KMKK, and also association, e.g. the Dayak Berdayuh National Association and Serakup Indo Dayak Sarawak. MICE has been engaged by Leadership Institute to give talk on ADAT for effective discussion of legal and statutory function of resident and district officers since 2022. In line with the proposed transformation and elevation of the native codes of Sarawak, MICE may be required to organize professional teaching and training of ADAT to lawyers who want to be practiced in the native codes of Sarawak. In this regard, MICE would be seeking collaboration with local and foreign institutions of higher learning to formulate the model and syllabus on the jurisprudence of ADAT. This could be a major challenge and task for MICE in future. Establishment of Institute of ADAT Sarawak. Since its establishment 46 years ago, the Majlis has no proper agency, such as a department or institution to support it. In view of these challenges, the Majlis is planning to establish a supporting agency to assess it discharging its duties and functions. This proposal would be implemented through the amendment of the Majlis Adat Sarawak Ordinance 1977. Bearing the outward event, the bill may be tabled next year. Issues and challenges. Tuan Speaker, I wish to inform this August House regarding some challenges faced by certain Adat in some Berdayuh communities. There are issues faced by some Berdayuh community with regard to the right of burial of the dead in the village or church cemetery. Most of the cemeteries in the Berdayuh communities are administered by the Kampung Church community. The old Adat practiced by most Berdayuh community was that every Berdayuh has the right to be buried in a cemetery of his or her ancestral kampung when he or she died according to the Adat Dia Tarikh Pasit. I hope I pronounced the word correctly. The place where his or her ancestors' umbilical cord were buried and is regarded as the ancestral kampung of every Berdayuh. However, now the authority to decide the right of burial is in the hand of Kampung Church Committee, which overrides the authority of the Ketua Kampung and Adat Dia Tarikh Pasit. According to the current practice, only members of the church are entitled to be buried in the kampong or church cemetery. Otherwise, they are not to be entitled to be buried in the kampong or church cemetery. As such, adat daya tarik pasir is no longer relevant for the regulation of Bureau of the Dead. This has caused a lot of bureau problems and anxiety in some Badawi communities, bearing in mind the period of managing and arranging the Bureau of the Dead is very short. For the information of the members of this August House, adat daya tarik pasir is quite similar to adat temuni or umbilical cord in some other native communities. This adat states that a person has the right to be buried in the land where his or her temuni or umbilical cord was buried, that is birth of place. Tuan Speaker, MICE has organized a roundtable discussion with Reverend Archbishop of the Catholic Church and representative from Reverend the Bishop of Anglican Church of Sarawak and Brunei to resolve the issue with a view of restricted adat daya tarik pasir. The Archbishop of the Catholic Church stated in principle that if the land in which cemetery was situated was registered in the name of the bishop, then only members of the Catholic can be buried in that cemetery. If the land was not registered under the Archbishop's name, the right to be buried in the cemetery would be cited by JKK and the Kampong Church community. With disregard to the Anglican Church, the Church's representative stated the issues could have risen due certain approach and stand taken by JKK and the Kampong Church community. The Anglican Church seemed to prefer the JKK and the Church community would decide on the rights of Bureau and the Kampong Cemetery. As there have been no clear or definite decision made in the endorsed in writing by the parties involved following the discussion, this issue is still far from settled and more follow-up discussion would be organized. Tuan Speaker, now I wish to share my thought on the importance of adat in upbringing and regulation of native societies. I think that an adult native society could be created through the administration and compliance of adat. Such society is not a perfect society or an utopian society. An adult native society is where peace, harmony, unity, and moderation prevail in that society. The period of peace, harmony, unity, and modernization could provide a conducive condition which may turn to provide some opportunities for members of the society to create relative prosperity, well-being, and the search for knowledge and wisdom. Moderation is the self-restraint of thought, conduct, and behavior, and the norm for any act of omission to control extremism. Whenever a dispute arises between members of a society, it would be resolved amicably. If a dispute cannot be resolved in such manner, it could be adjudicated in a competence forum such as a native courts. Now, Tuan Speaker, I'd like to proceed on matters relating to the native courts of Sarawak. The restructuring and elevation of the native courts of Sarawak. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to enlighten members of this August House on the proposal by the GPS state government to restructure and elevate the status of the native courts of Sarawak. I would like to begin by stating that the very idea of restructuring and elevating the native court was mooted by our Yang Amat Berhormat Premier himself during his address at the 25th anniversary dinner of the Office of the Chief Registrar, Native Court of Sarawak on the 24th August 2018. The mandate by Yang Amat Berhormat Premier was to commission a study to come up with a master plan to restructure and elevate the current native courts of Sarawak to be an autonomous and independent judicial institution like our Civil Code and Sharia codes. Tuan Speaker, a team of local consultants comprising former civil servants and administrators, practicing lawyers, academicians, and experts on the local adat was appointed by the state government to carry out a study in January 2020. The study would have been completed within the original 9-month contract period if it had not been delays due to factors beyond the control of both the government and the consultant, particularly those caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The study was only completed in February 2022. The consultant submitted the final report containing the master plan for the restructuring and elevation of the native codes to the state government or the Sarawak government on March 2023. Tuan Speaker, I'm pleased to inform this August House that the master plan on the transformation of the native code, which I have just mentioned, have been presented to the Mesyuarat Kedua Negeri in July this year. The master plan had been duly considered and approved by the MMKN for implementation, and this would be paved the way for the state government to commence the transformation involving an organizational structuring and elevating the status of our native codes. Based on the recommendation in the master plan, the current native code will be restructured and elevated from being just a unit under the Premier's department to be a full-fledged judiciary, which is independent and autonomous. The other major changes would involve the history and the organizational structure of the current native code system. In terms of code history, the recommendation is to restructure our current 6-layer code to a 4-layer structure comprising the native magistrate code and the native higher court. The native higher court would comprise 3 lawyers, namely the native high court, native court of appeal, and the native supreme court. For these changes to take effect, the recommendation in this master plan is for the government to repeal the current Native Code Ordinance 1992 and the Native Code Rules 1993, and to enact a new Native Code Ordinance and new Native Code Rules. The functions, powers, and jurisdiction of this new Native Code will be spelled out in the new Native Codes Bill, which will be tabled at this Dewan. At this juncture, our target is to table the new Native Code Bill during the next sitting of this August House. Tuan Speaker, under the proposed structuring of Native Code, the district officers and residents would be relieved of their statutory and judicial duties to preside over cases before the native courts. It is the intention of the government to appoint legally qualified persons to serve full-time magistrate and judges under the new native courts. The proposed structuring and elevation of the native court would also involve some changes in the roles and function of our headmen and community leaders, who are now the presiding officers of the headman, chief and chief superior court, or the community level court under the present structure. At this moment, the headman or ketua kaum appointed by the government are presiding over cases at the headman court, while the community leaders, namely Pengulu, Pemancas, and Temenggung, are presiding over cases at the chief and the chief superior courts. While the ketua kaum, the community leaders would continue to perform the role as custodian and administrators of the adat. They will no longer to be part of the formal new native code system as presiding officers. However, some of them will be involved and appointed as the Council of Elders to assist the magistrates at the Native Magistrate Court and judges of the High Native Courts. Tuan Speaker, the master plan for the restructuring and elevation of the Native Courts of Sarawak have been produced and recently approved by the government due to the support, contribution and the commitment of various parties. In this regard, I would like to take this opportunity to thank members of the Study Steering Committee, which is chaired by the Young Berhormat Dato' Ahmadullah Segah Mbas, the Deputy Premier and Member for Bukit Saban, the Technical Committee headed by the State Attorney General, the Study Secretariat at the Office of the Chief Registrar, Native Courts Sarawak, as well as the consultant teams for their ideas, input, dedication and commitment in producing the master plan. Due to the contribution and commitment of all involved, the state government now have a master plan to restructure and elevate, albeit to transform our native courts to be an independent and autonomous judiciary which will be respected and meets the inspiration of the government. I would like to respond now, Tuan Speaker. I would like to respond to the issues raised by Ali Berhormat during the debate during the second reading of 2024 budget bill, which are relating to unit pentadbiran and the unit pengurusan immigration and buruh or MU. Bangunan pejabat daerah kecil dan buduk. Untuk makluman Ali Berhormat bagi kalian, status terkini pembinaan pejabat daerah kecil dan buduk yang baru adalah dalam proses pra-kontrak atau pre-contract stage, iaitu penyediaan reka bentuk bangunan terperinci dan dokumen tenda. Tenda dijangka akan dikeluarkan pada suku pertama tahun 2024. Tempoh pelaksanaan projek ia adalah 18 bulan. Untuk pembinaan servis kuartus daerah kecil dan buduk, termasuk di dalam senarai projek pembinaan servis kuartus dan servis pejabat dan bangunan pejabat kerajaan Sarawak telah diluluskan dalam kajian separuh penggal Rancangan Malaysia ke-12. Pembinaannya dijangka bermula pada pertengahan tahun 2024. Pada masa ini, pejabat daerah kecil dan buduk telah beroperasi di bangunan kuartus kerajaan secara sementara sejak 2 Januari 2023. Kuartus daerah Bukit Mabung. Untuk melamat Ali Berhormat bagi balik, kerajaan masih dalam proses untuk mengenal pasti tapak bagi pembinaan servis kuartus di daerah Bukit Mabung. Antara faktor yang diambil kira dalam menentukan tapak tersebut ialah keberadaan kemudahan jalan raya, bekalan air dan bekalan listrik. Komplek pentadbiran di daerah Lingga dan daerah kecil Meludam. Untuk makluman Ali Berhormat bagi Lingga, projek pembinaan komplek pusat pentadbiran daerah Lingga dan daerah kecil Meludam terus senarai dalam projek pembinaan servis kuartus dan bangunan pejabat kerajaan Sarawak yang telah diluluskan dalam kajian separuh penggal Rancangan ke-12. Status projek pada ketika ini adalah dalam proses mengenal pasti petapakan yang sesuai untuk mendapat kelulusan Majlis Perancangan Sarawak dan pembinaannya dijangka bermula pada akhir tahun 2024. Bagi pejabat daerah kecil Meludam, Jabatan Kerjaya Sarawak telah diminta untuk menjalankan penilaian kondisi bangunan bagi menentukan tahap kerosakan dan status keselamatan bangunan tersebut. bangunan pejabat daerah Semunjan. Untuk makluman ahli berhormat bagi Semunjan, kerajaan memang berhasrat untuk menempatkan ruang bagi pejabat pertanian daerah Semunjan yang baru di pusat pentadbiran Kerajaan Sarawak daerah Semunjan. Projek pembinaan pusat pentadbiran Kerajaan Sarawak daerah Semunjan tersenarai dalam projek pembinaan servis quarters dan bangunan Kerajaan Sarawak yang telah diluluskan dalam kajian separuh penggal rancangan Malaysia Ke-19. Status projek pada ketika ini adalah dalam proses mengenal pasti petapakan yang sesuai untuk mendapat kelulusan Majlis Perancangan Sarawak dan pembinaannya dijangka bermula pada akhir tahun 2024. Pemantapan peranan jawatankuasa kemajuan dan keselamatan kampung atau JKKK. Bagi isu yang dibangkit oleh ahli berhormat bagi Daro, iaitu berhubung dengan cadangan untuk memperkasakan peranan dan fungsi JKK melalui modul latihan dan pendidikan, kerajaan telah menjalinkan kerjasama dengan pelbagai pihak, termasuk agensi-agensi persekutuan, Kementerian Kemajuan Desa dan Wilayah, Institut Kemajuan Desa Infra, Jabatan Kemajuan Masyarakat KEMAS dan agensi-agensi negeri seperti Pejabat Rusdin dan daerah dalam melaksanakan pelbagai program-program untuk memberikan pendedahan dan pembangunan JKK di Sarawak. Pada tahun ini, sebanyak 52 program telah dilaksanakan yang melibatkan seramai 3,795 ahli JKK Sarawak dengan tumpuan kepada pemekasan kepimpinan desa, keusahawan wanita, modul integriti, kecemerlangan belia, pemekasan biuro, kit pertanian, agroekologi, plan tindakan strategik desa, pengurusan bencana, penilaian bantuan, serta seminar dan simposium bertujuan meningkatkan kemajuan dan pembangunan di peringkat kampung. Cadangan kenaikan gaji ketua masyarakat dan elawen ketua kaum. Bagi isu yang dibangkit oleh ahli yang berhormat bagi Terbeduk, Serumbu, Lingga, Telian, Upah, Pelagus, Tamin dan Utimaru, iaitu berhubung dengan cadangan kenaikan gaji dan bagi ketua masyarakat dan elawen bagi ketua kaum. Untuk makluman ahli-ahli yang berhormat, kali terakhir Kerajaan Sarawak membuat penyelarasan gaji bagi ketua masyarakat dan elawen bagi ketua kaum adalah pada tahun 2018. Ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum memainkan peranan yang sangat penting dalam membantu kerajaan menyampaikan maklumat berkaitan polisi dan dasar-dasar terkini kerajaan di peringkat akar umbi. Kerajaan juga mengambil maklum akan peningkatan kos sara hidup dan peranan serta tanggungjawab ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum yang semakin bertambah. Oleh demikian, kerajaan akan mengkaji dan meneliti secara terperinci keperluan ini bagi 7,585 ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum di seluruh Sarawak. Penambahan jawatan ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum. Bagi isu yang dibangkit oleh ahli yang berhormat bagi Tanjung Batu, Telian, Bukit Semuja dan Batu Danau, iaitu berhubung dengan cadangan dan untuk penambahan jawatan ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum. Untuk makluman ahli berhormat, kerajaan setakat ini telah menerima sebanyak 876 permohonan cadangan perwujudan jawatan ketua masyarakat dan ketua kaum atau KMKK dari semua bahagian di seluruh Sarawak. Setakat ini, kerajaan sedang meneliti secara terperinci keseluruhan permohonan pewujudan jawatan tersebut berdasarkan keperluan serta kriteria-kriteria umum pewujudan jawatan baru Ketua Masyarakat dan Ketua Kaum. Isu elaun Ketua Kaum diberhentikan dan pengtirafan Ketua Kaum yang mempunyai 20 pintu ke atas. Bagi isu yang dibangkit oleh Hari Berhormat bagi Ngemah, iaitu berhubung elaun bagi Ketua Kaum yang diberhentikan, kerajaan telah menetapkan bahawa bagi Ketua Kaum yang dilantik selepas merdeka 1963 dan mempunyai rumah panjang atau kampung di bawah selian beliau kurang dari 10 pintu atau rumah, pembayaran elaun bulanan harus dihentikan. Manakala bagi pengtirafan pelantikan Ketua Kaum selepas tarikh 17 Februari 2000, kerajaan telah menetapkan Ketua Kaum tersebut hendaklah mempunyai rumah panjang atau kampung di bawah selian beliau dengan jumlah 20 pintu ke atas, iaitu mulai 17 Februari tahun 2000. Application for native status. On the issue raised by the Honourable Member for Baklalan, currently there are 2 ways implemented by the Sarawak government to deal with the application of native status. Firstly, prior to the coming into force of the Interpretation Amendment Ordinance 2022 on the 1st November 2023, the native status would only be granted through an application to be deemed native before the resident native code pursuant to the Native Codes Ordinance 1992. This is a lengthy process, and the applicant must fulfill certain conditions and requirements provided for under the Native Code Rules 1993, such as proficient in the language or dialect of the native community, and he practices or conform to the custom and culture of that native community that he wants to be identified with. Secondly, with the coming into force of the Interpretation Amendment Ordinance 2022 on the 1st November 2023, the Sarawak government has simplified the condition, requirement and the processes for such a person to be recognized as a native under the Amendment Ordinance. This is to ensure that they are suitable, reasonable and practical as compared with the condition, requirement and process under the previously mentioned Native Code Rules 1993. In order for the applicant to be recognized as a native of Sarawak under the Interpretation Amendment Ordinance 2022, the applicant must satisfy the condition and requirement imposed by the Sarawak government. The condition imposed are: A, the applicant must be a Malaysian citizen. The applicant must be a Malaysian citizen. The applicant is a natural-born child of a native of Sarawak. And 3, one of the applicant's parents is a native of Sarawak. Very simple, isn't it? The applicant is also required to submit the application at district office throughout Sarawak. Must be submitted to the district office. This will include the newborn babies where the applicant can be met by one of his natural parents. Therefore, the requirement for such person to make an application to be recognized as a native is necessary, as the government has the responsibility to ensure that only the genuine application is processed and considered to safeguard the special position and rights of a native of Sarawak as enshrined in the Federal Constitution. Every application will be processed with due diligence. The fee of RM100 is still be imposed as processing fee for the applicant and the issuance of the certificate. Having said the above, I wish to inform that the condition, requirement and processes for application to be deemed as native before resident native code under the Native Code Rules 1993 still applies to non-native child adopted by native parents and also to an application for non-natives or spouses of a native person. Delivering better services through digitalization. On the issue raised by the Honourable Members Putupong in supporting the digital transformation plan under the digital government services as outlined in Sarawak post-COVID-19 Sarawak Development Strategies 2030 or PCDS 2030, the Sarawak government through the Migration and Development Department unit under the department under the previous department is in the process of developing a holistic and comprehensive platform to ease the process of recruiting local and foreign workers in Sarawak. It started from the job advertising process until the recruitment of successful employees. The Foreign Worker Transformation Approach or FWTA system that we develop complies with security measures in terms of data gathering, storage, usage, and producing or generating computer files or documents for official purpose. Other than that, the FWTA platform is seamless in the workflow and processing of the applications and approval. This system is expected to be deployed in the year 2024, and the initial key function and features consist of a job advertisement, approval in principle or IP application, health monitoring and enforcement, and the tracking. The WFTA system will be incorporated with the Sarawak ID and the Sarawak ID corporate for use as control, and will have an audit trail to ensure transparency in practice. This system will be integrated with other systems and a similar subject or category to support the ecosystem from the identifying the talent pool and the skill requirements to the job matching process and job hunting activities for Sarawakian employees and employers. Continuous improvement and continuous value added and value creation will be included in this system from time to time in accordance with the current trend and the state's requirement to control, monitoring and coordinate supply and demand of human resources in Sarawak. While we are focusing on improving our service delivery, we also indirectly conducting exercise on developing our big data initiative. In the near future, I believe that through the data analysis, we will know that we know what to tackle and what to prepare in order to achieve our mission to become a high-income state in the year 2023. Immigration autonomy and permanent resident. Bagi isu yang dibangkit oleh Berhormat Meradong, bagi setiap permohonan permit masuk bagi warga negara asing di Sarawak adalah di bawah selia oleh Jabatan Immigration Malaysia Sarawak di bawah Seksyen 10 Akta Immigration 1959/63, Immigration Provision Order Scheduled Perangan 3, 4 dan 5. Pekeliling Immigration Terhad bilangan 16/2009 bertarikh 15 Disember 2009 dan Peraturan 4 Peraturan Immigration 1963. Permohonan permit masuk di Sarawak perlu dihantar ke Jabatan Imigresen Malaysia Sarawak. Proses tapisan keselamatan akan dilakukan oleh Jabatan Imigresen dan Polis Diraja Malaysia. Kerajaan Sarawak yang bertindak sebagai pihak berkuasa Kerajaan Negeri akan memberi sokongan ke atas permohonan yang lengkap, iaitu Seksyen 6/1 Akta Imigresen 1963 untuk diangkat kepada Ketua Pengarah Imigresen Malaysia berdasarkan Perkeliling Imigresen Malaysia Terhad bilangan 16/209. Bagi permohonan yang tidak berjaya, boleh membuat rayuan bagi pihak Kementerian Dalam Negeri kepada pihak Kementerian Dalam Negeri melalui Kerajaan Sarawak dalam tempoh 30 hari dalam tarikh surat keputusan. Tuan Speaker, I would like to respond to the issues raised by Ali Bromat dari Bukit Asik and Dun Beting Maru during the second reading 2024 budget bill. Low completion of rate of RTP projects for Dun Bukit Asik. Untuk makluman ahli yang berhormat bagi Bukit Asik, bagi tahun 2022 dan 2023, sejumlah 72 projek RTP telah diluluskan untuk kawasan Dun Bukit Asik dengan siling sebanyak 10 juta ringgit. Status pelaksanaan 72 projek tersebut setakat 24 November 2023 adalah seperti berikut. 1. 51 iaitu 70.8 projek berstatus dalam perancangan. Nombor 2, 4 iaitu 5.6% projek berstatus ikut jadual. Dan 3, 17 iaitu 23.6 projek berstatus sudah siap. Untuk makluman bagi Adun Bukit Asik, sejumlah besar projek yang belum dilaksanakan adalah disebabkan projek-projek ini hanya diluluskan pada tahun 2022 dan 2023. Antara sebab-sebab lain projek ini belum dilaksanakan adalah seperti berikut. 1. Dalam proses pindaan projek. 2. Dalam proses petapakan. Dan 3. Dalam proses mendapatkan kelulusan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. Dan 4. Dalam proses cabut undi. Kerajaan Sarawak sentiasa peka terhadap keperluan rakyat dan komited untuk usaha membangunkan kawasan luar bandar bagi memastikan penduduk luar bandar tidak ketinggalan menikmati harus pembangunan melalui penyediaan kemudahan infrastruktur, utility dan ameniti sosial. Dalam hal ini, kerjasama semua pihak yang terlibat, khususnya pentadbiran bagian daerah, Yang Berhormat Adun, agensi pelaksana, JKK dan agensi berkaitan adalah penyumbang utama kepada kerjaan pelaksana projek RTP bagi memastikan projek-projek tersebut dapat dilaksanakan dan disiapkan seperti yang dirancang. Projek sakit lewat jadual kritikal Dun Beting Maru. Tuan Speaker, untuk maklumat ahli berhormat bagi Beting Maru, 1. Skim perumahan nelayan Beladin. Pertama sekali, saya ingin maklumkan bahawa projek RGC adalah di bawah bidang kuasa Kementerian Industri Makanan, Komuniti dan Pembangunan Wilayah atau MYTV berdasarkan the Ministers of the State Government Assessment Portfolios No. 2 Order 2022. Dalam isu projek skim perumahan nelayan Beladin, Lembaga Pembangunan dan Lindungan Tanah atau LCDA adalah merupakan agensi pelaksana kepada projek tersebut. Seperti yang berhormat sedia maklum, projek skim perumahan nelayan Beladin adalah merupakan projek usaha sama antara Kerajaan Sarawak dan Kerajaan Persekutuan. Setakat ini sebanyak 300 unit skim perumahan nelayan Semuk dan 68 unit skim perumahan nelayan Beladin telah siap. Unit rumah yang telah siap akan diserahkan kepada peserta-serta setelah kerajaan memutamakan mekanisme pemilik dan senarai peserta. Bagi memastikan rumah tersebut fit and safe for occupancy, Kerajaan Sarawak melalui agensi pelaksana akan melaksanakan kerja-kerja pembaikan sebelum rumah tersebut diserahkan kepada peserta. Dalam hal ini, Kerajaan Sarawak telah memohon peruntukan dengan Kerajaan Persekutuan bagi tujuan tersebut. 2. Kompleks Pendaratan Ikan Lembaga Kemajuan Ikan Malaysia Beladin atau LKIM Beladin. Kompleks Pendaratan Ikan LKIM Beladin telah siap sepenuhnya dan diserah kepada pihak LIKM pada 16 Jun 2022. LIKM Sarawak kini sedang dalam fasa perancangan untuk pelaksanaan kerja-kerja pembaik pulihan Kompleks Beladin. Pada 1 November 2023, Lembaga Kemajuan Ikan Malaysia telah menempatkan seorang kaki tangan di kompleks tersebut bagi urusan pentadbiran dan pengoperasian. Kompleks sementara menunggu kerja-kerja baik pulih dilaksanakan. Buat masa kini, LKIM sedang berusaha menyelesaikan isu-isu berkaitan dengan jalan akses dan kemudahan utiliti. 3. Projek JT Tambatan Nelayan Beladin. Bagi cadangan pembinaan JT Tambatan Nelayan Beladin, projek ini adalah cadangan daripada Yang Ahli Yang Berhormat bagi Beting Maru untuk dibina dan skim perumahan nelayan Beladin menggunakan peruntukan Yang Berhormat Adun sendiri. Setakat ini, LKIM belum menerima arahan alat tuju selanjutnya daripada Ahli Yang Berhormat bagi Beting Maru untuk tindakan pelaksana JT tersebut. 4. Pejabat Darah Pusat bahagian Betong. Bagi Pejabat Darah Pusat bahagian Betong adalah projek Rancangan Malaysia Ke-19. Peruntukan negeri dengan kos projek bernilai RM7.45 juta. Projek ini telah diaward pada 31 Mac 2023. Namun kontrak telah ditamatkan pada 26 April 2023 disebabkan prestasi kontraktor yang tidak memuaskan dengan kemajuan fizikal sebenar sebanyak 22% saja berbanding dengan kemajuan fizikal dirancang sebanyak 44.65%. Projek tersebut dijangka untuk ditender semula pada suku pertama tahun 2024. Bina baru food court di RGC Beladin. Projek bina baru food court di RGC Beladin adalah merupakan salah satu daripada 3 projek baru yang telah diluluskan pada bulan Julai 2023 bagi menggantikan projek bina baru pusat kompleks penginapan RGC Beladin dan bina baru pusat community RGC Beladin yang telah diluluskan pada tahun 2019. Projek ini tidak dapat dilaksanakan sehingga kini disebabkan oleh isu petapakan dan peruntukan yang diluluskan tidak mencukupi untuk memenuhi keperluan cadangan reka bentuk projek. Memandangkan peruntukan sedia ada tidak mencukupi, saya memaklumkan bahawa Kementerian Kesihatan Awam, Perumahan dan Kerjaan Tempatan akan mencadangkan projek ini dilaksana menggunakan sumber peruntukan lain. Pusat Penjajah RGC Beladin. Pembinaan Pusat Penjajah RGC Beladin merupakan komponen di bawah projek Bina Baru R&R RGC Beladin Fasa 2. Pusat kini dijangka akhir dan dijangka siap sepenuhnya pada ujung Disember 2023. Projek ini akan diserah kepada Majlis Daerah Betong untuk pengurusan dan penyelenggaraan serta dijangka boleh beroperasi sepenuhnya seawal bulan Januari 2024. Dewan Serbaguna Kampung Pusat Betong. Pembinaan Dewan Serbaguna Kampung Pusat Betong telah siap pada Oktober 2023. Dewan ini dijangka akan diserah kepada Majlis Daerah Betong setelah proses pengeluaran Certificate of Practical Completion atau CPC dan Occupational Permit atau OP diselesaikan dalam suku pertama tahun 2024. Jadi kesimpulan untuk makluman ahli berhormat bagi Beting Maru, usaha pemantauan projek pembangunan yang diurustiakan oleh Unit Pemantauan Pelaksana Negeri Sarawak, SIMU, dan Pejabat Pembangunan Negeri atau SDO, sama ada di peringkat negeri maupun peringkat negara, giat dilaksanakan melalui mekanisme pemantauan kerjaan Sarawak dan arah satu kerjaan persekutuan. Ini dilaksanakan melalui mesyuarat pembangunan atau tindakan mesyuarat zon, lawatan tapak dan mesyuarat intervensi yang diadakan bagi memastikan pelaksanaan projek pembangunan negeri dan persekutuan berjalan lancar. Pada tahun ini, beberapa mesyuarat telah diadakan di peringkat negeri, iaitu Mesyuarat Jawatankuasa Penyelarasan Pembangunan Negeri, iaitu SDCCM, yang dipengerusikan sendiri oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak sebanyak 5 kali. Mesyuarat Tindakan Pembangunan Negeri atau MTPNG yang dipengerusikan oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Amar Degla Sugah Mas Timbalan Premier Sarawak sebanyak sekali. Mesyuarat Jawatankuasa Tindakan Pembangunan Negeri JTPNG yang dipengerusikan oleh Setiausaha Kerjaan Negeri sebanyak 4 kali. Mesyuarat Penyelarasan dan Pemantauan Projek Pembangunan Peruntukan Kerjaan Sarawak mengikut zon dan mesyuarat penyelarasan dan pemantauan projek rakyat yang dipengerusikan oleh pengarah SIMU masing-masing sebanyak 8 dan 4 kali. Malahan kementerian-kementerian juga memantapkan pemantauan projek di peringkat kementerian masing-masing. Dalam masa yang sama, Jawatankuasa Pembangunan Bagian DDC, Jawatankuasa Tindakan Pembangunan Bagian JTPB yang dipengerusikan oleh SDN di mana keahliannya turut melibatkan ahli berhormat kawasan juga berperanan menjadi ejen pemantau atau pemantau utama projek-projek di peringkat bagian. Dalam hal ini, ahli-ahli jawatankuasa perlu kerap turun padang bagi memastikan kemajuan pelaksanaan projek berjalan dengan lancar dan menyelesaikan isu-isu berbangkit di peringkat bagian seperti yang diputuskan oleh SDCCM yang dipromosikan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak dan diurustiakan oleh SIMU. Before I conclude, I want to take this opportunity to once again to thank ahli-ahli yang berhormat for the issues in concern pertaining to my portfolio. Saya juga ingin merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada agensi-agensi Jabatan Premier Sarawak, iaitu Mahkamah Bumi Putra Sarawak, Majlis Adat Istiadat Sarawak MAIS, Unit Pemantauan Pelaksanaan Negeri SIMU, Unit Pentadbiran dan Unit Pengurusan Imigresen dan Buruh atas usaha kerjasama dan dedikasi pegawai-pegawai agensi bagi menyediakan input dan ucapan penggulung saya ini. Dengan kesempatan ini, saya juga ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Christmas kepada yang beragama Kristian dan selamat tahun baru kepada semua. Bagi menutup ucapan penggulungan saya, suka saya mengakhiri dengan serangkap pantun. Dari Beladin pergi ke pusat, membeli buntal pulang hari. Amalkan hidup bekerjasama daripada kita menunding jari. Maka dengan ini saya menyokong usul rang undang-undang perbekalan 2023. Sekian, terima kasih.
Terima kasih Yang Berhormat Menteri Datuk Seri John Siki di atas pengulangan tadi. Dengan ini saya ingin dengan segala hormatnya menjemput Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin, Menteri Pengangkutan, untuk menyampaikan ucapan pergolongan. Silakan.
Terima kasih Tuan Speaker. Selamat petang, salam sejahtera dan salam Sarawak Maju Makmur. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate our Speaker on his reappointment as a Speaker of this Sarawak Legislative Assembly for another term of 2 years from 16 November 2023 to 15 November 2025. This is a testimony of his able leadership in maintaining the excellent conduct and decorum of this august House, as well as upholding the standing orders of the Sarawak Legislative Assembly throughout his service. Tuan Speaker, I wish to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak, who was recently conferred with the Distinguished Honorary Fellow Award by the ASEAN Federation of Engineering Organization, AFEO, on 22nd November 2023 at the 41st Conference of the ASEAN Federation of Engineering Organizations at Bali, Indonesia. This prestigious commendation is a reflection of the Right Honourable Premier's tireless efforts, innovative thinking and unwavering commitment to develop Sarawak. It also acknowledges the dynamic and progressive leadership demonstrated by the Right Honourable Premier in the global context, especially in the ASEAN region. The exemplary achievements and leadership qualities of the Right Honourable Premier will continue to inspire our future leaders and the younger generation to possess great self-belief, envision a purpose, and move in the right direction to sustain the socio-economic development of Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, GPS winning by-election N67 Park. I would also like to take this opportunity to record my congratulations to the Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS under the leadership of the Right Honourable Premier for the landslide victory of the by-election N67 Park on 4th November 2023. GPS once again retained Dun N67 Park by securing 9,638 votes to win with a majority of 8,784 votes. This indicates that the people of Jupak have confidence and trust in the current government led by our Right Honourable Premier in bringing development to Jepak and Sarawak as a whole. To Ahli Yang Berhormat for N57 Jepak, I would like to welcome him to this August House, representing the people of N67 Jepak to carry out their hopes and aspirations for more development for Jepak. Tuan Speaker, Belanjawan 2024 Malaysian Bandari Federal Budget 2024. The Belanjawan 2024 Malaysian Bandari Theme Economy Reforms Empowering the People, Reformasi Ekonomi Memperkasakan Rakyat allocated 303.8 billion for operating expenditure and 90 billion ringgit for development expenditure. Nonetheless, despite the huge amount of the development budget, the federal government has only allocated 5.8 billion for Sarawak's development expenditure. I believe Sarawak deserves more funding in view of the development needs as well as its huge contribution to the national economy. Hence, I fully support the Right Honourable Premier's request for the federal government to provide more allocation to Sarawak. I also appeal to the federal government to provide more allocation for the development of the transport sector in Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, Supply Bill 2024. I would like to congratulate the Right Honourable Premier for his forward-thinking and people-centric budget with the theme Development for All, together building a prosperous, sustainable and united Sarawak. This budget reflects GPS government's commitment to steer Sarawak into a well-developed status through economic growth strategies while prioritizing the well-being of our people and securing a bright future for our children. The development-oriented budget, with a projected surplus of 386 million ringgit, is a testament of prudent financial management. This entails confidence in effective utilization of resources for the betterment of our people and the sustained development of Sarawak. In addition, I applaud and fully support the initiatives for human capital and talent development as announced by the Right Honourable Premier in the budget. The 4 key initiatives will further enhance our students and professionals' access to education and skill development programs that act as catalysts for personal and professional development. Henceforth, Sarawak's younger generation will be encouraged and motivated to acquire skills and knowledge to upgrade their living standard. This is certainly critical for Sarawak to attain high income and developed status by 2030. As the saying goes, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. The GPS government will continue to provide opportunities for upward mobility to the rakyat by investing in education, training and talent development. These are crucial for fostering sustainable economic growth, societal progress, improving health and individual well-being, and reducing income inequality. I am fully supportive of the supply bill presented by the Right Honourable Premier. As my military progresses with the development of Sarawak, it is hoped that more allocation will be provided for the transport sector in the future. Passing of Bills 2023. Tuan Speaker, with this opportunity, I also wish to congratulate our GPS government for introducing 5 bills during this sitting. 2 of the bills, namely the Sarawak Ombudsman Bill 2023 and the Environment Reduction of Greenhouse Gases Emission Bill 2023, are the first of its kind in Malaysia. I believe the smooth approval of the bills by this August House reflects the stability and unity of our GPS government. The Sarawak Ombudsman Bill 2023 would enable our GPS government to uphold governance, transparency, and integrity. These are the key elements for the government to practice in order to ensure efficiency in public service administration. Meanwhile, the Environment, Reduction of Greenhouse Gases Emissions Bill 2023 showcases Sarawak's commitment to reduce greenhouse emissions in line with the objective to combat climate change and to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 in accordance with the Paris Agreement. I believe this bill will be a guiding policy in our efforts to develop an environmentally friendly transport system in Sarawak. With the introduction and implementation of these bills, we hope Sarawak will continue to prosper and embrace sustainable development without compromising resources for future generations. Global direction for transport sector. Tuan Speaker, on a global scale, the transport sector is increasingly aligned with sustainable goals, notably the target of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. This commitment reflects a collective global effort to address environmental concerns and create a more sustainable future. The IG 2030 Declaration on Environmentally Sustainable Transport, adopted by 22 countries, including Malaysia, signifies a regional commitment towards Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and the Paris Agreement on Sustainable Development. These declarations emphasizes the development of universally accessible, safe, affordable, efficient, clean, low-carbon, resilient, and multimodal passenger and freight transport systems in Asia. In line with these global and regional initiatives, Malaysia has made a commitment to reduce carbon emissions in the transport sector with aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Under the leadership of the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak, Sarawak government is embarking on the transformation of Sarawak's transport sector in harmony with these global directions to shape a socially inclusive and sustainable future for Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, transforming Sarawak's transportation sector as an enabler towards high-income economy and developed region by 2030. The Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy, PCDS 2030, outlined very clear strategies for Sarawak to achieve high-income economy and developed region by 2030, with a GDP value of 282 billion ringgit, supported by an average growth of 8% per annum. This growth will be driven by various economic sectors, underpinned by aggressive utilization of natural resources and infrastructure development. Looking at many high-income and developed regions or countries around the world, it is understood that a developed region is not merely defined by its high income level. Most developed regions are characterized by its advanced economy driven by industrialization, high technology and innovation, research and development, and supported by advanced transport systems and related infrastructures, be it public transport, logistic hubs, ports, airports, or marine and riverine transport. Transport sector is the key enabler for economic growth and social integration. Hence, it must be given high priority, be it in the form of policy direction, funding, planning, and human capital. My ministry is tasked with the responsibility to accelerate the growth of economic sectors, particularly tourism services, agriculture and mining, as well as to facilitate the smooth movement of people and goods. To achieve the 2030 vision, it is crucial for us to advance and modernize our transport sector with integrated planning, introduction of new technologies, supportive policies, and strengthened transport entity. Tuan Speaker, institutional and policy. A strong institutional setting and clear policy direction are fundamental for an efficient transport management and its service delivery. The transport system is influenced by many factors under the purview of various agencies and authorities, both at Sarawak and federal government level. To actualize the vision outlined in PCDS 2030, my ministry is engaging with all relevant stakeholders to revisit relevant laws and regulations. This is to facilitate necessary updates and changes to enable the development of the transport sector and achieve its aspiration of a safe, reliable, affordable, and energy-efficient integrated transport system. Tuan Speaker, river economy. My ministry has taken strategic steps to improve the navigational safety of Sarawak rivers to tap its economic potential. One of the initiatives taken is to study the navigability of Sungai Sarawak, Kanan, and from Kuching waterfront to Sindiawan. This study will map up the navigability of the river and recommend strategies to develop economic activities in line with the river economy concept. We must ensure safe navigation of our rivers to facilitate the movement of people and goods. This is critically important, as some of our settlements along the river banks are still dependent on the river as the key mode of transport. At the same time, it promotes river sports activities, enhances business and trade. To achieve safer navigation, it is essential to eliminate hazards in the river, provide up-to-date river charts, and strategically deploy a sufficient number of aids to navigation across the rivers. Compliance with the International Association of Marine Aids to Navigation and Lighthouse Authorities (IALA) standard is crucial to maintain and grow our riverine shipping industry. Tuan Speaker, strengthening of buoys and lights. For the information of this August House, the Sarawak Buoys and Lights Board was established under Clause 4.1 of the Merchant Shipping Buoys and Lights Regulations 1961, made under Section 277 of the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1960. Currently, the Sarawak Buoys and Light Board does not have its own management structure set up. The entity is administered by its Board of Directors, whereby the function of the board is performed by the Marine Department Sarawak region. The Sarawak Buoys and Lights Board needs to be strengthened and transformed from its present status. It is very crucial and timely to ensure the effective management and delivery of buoys and light services, expansion of revenue stream, especially through the collection of buoys and light dues, and most importantly, to protect the sovereignty of Sarawak. Therefore, my ministry is working closely with the Sarawak State Attorney General's chambers to review and propose changes to the regulations. Our objective is to establish a robust management structure and provide adequate staffing for the Sarawak Buoys and Lights Board. Tuan Speaker, integrated transport planning. Integrated transport planning is a comprehensive approach to establish a cohesive, seamless, and sustainable transport network within the region. For land transport, key factors such as urban design, accessibility, settlement patterns, road and drainage construction, employment centers, socio-economic background, and environmental considerations can significantly influence the efficiency and effectiveness of the transport system. A critical aspect of integrated transport involves the harmonious integration of transport system with key infrastructure components such as ports, airports, and resource-producing centers to enhance the efficiency of economic sectors and contribute to overall socio-economic advancement. Furthermore, the integration of public transport with residential, commercial, and industrial zones can greatly enhance accessibility and efficiency. The incorporation of transit-oriented development, TOD, in urban planning can create vibrant and sustainable communities around transit hubs. This will result in well-connected communities that not only facilitate economic activities, but also improve overall quality of life. A coordinated effort to understand and address these factors is essential for developing a transport system that caters for community needs while adhering to socio-economic and environmental considerations. Considering these factors, my ministry has commissioned the study on the Sarawak Integrated Transport Master Plan and Urban Transport Action Plan to guide development direction and policy formulation to ensure a sustainable transport system in Sarawak amidst rapid urbanization. Tuan Speaker, active mobility. Cities worldwide are increasingly focused on creating environments that support active mobility. This involves designing urban spaces with pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, dedicated cycling lanes, and improved connectivity between various transport modes. Active mobility provides a range of benefits, including improved health, environmental sustainability, economic efficiency, and social well-being. Investing in and promoting active transport infrastructure can contribute to the development of more sustainable, livable, and inclusive communities. In line with these principles, my ministry is working closely with the relevant agencies to plan and build integrated bicycle lanes and pedestrian walkways as strategic areas to complement motorized transport modes and act as a feeder to other modes of transport. Tuan Speaker, advancement of transport infrastructures, railway infrastructure. After our deliberation with the federal government, the feasibility study on Trans-Borneo Railway is scheduled to take place next year under Rolling Plan 4 of the 12th Malaysia Plan. This feasibility study marks the beginning of our plan to advance land connectivity beyond our border, going through to Sabah and with potential links to Negara Brunei Darussalam and Kalimantan. It is envisioned as a catalyst to serve as a vital transport network by linking key economic centres, ports and airports in Sarawak and Sabah. Tuan Speaker, logistic hub. The establishment of a logistic hub can significantly support economic growth by enhancing efficiency, reliability and cost effectiveness on the movement of goods. These hubs play a crucial role in facilitating trade, connecting producers and consumers, and elevating the overall competitiveness of businesses. In developed countries, logistic hubs serve as a central point for storage and sorting to optimize the distribution of goods. This reduces transport costs, shortens lead times, and enhances the overall efficiency of supply chain. For this purpose, my ministry is developing lorry terminals in major towns with Miri and Bintulu terminals as the pioneering projects. The lorry terminals with integrated facilities such as warehouses, storage, workshops and commercial space that align with modern logistic practices will contribute to economic growth, improve supply chain management and the overall development of the logistic and transport sector. Tuan Speaker, airport expansion. According to the International Transport Forum, one of the determinants of air connectivity is airport infrastructure. Investment in airport infrastructure not only improves air connectivity, but also radiates positive effects throughout the economy. Job creation, increased trade, and a boost to tourism are among the dividends that can be reaped by nations that prioritize the development of this gateway. For the information of this August House, an airport optimization plan has been conducted and reviewed that Kuching International Airport and Miri Airport have surpassed their capabilities of 5 million passengers per annum and 2 million passengers per annum respectively in 2019. In this regard, upgrading the terminals is required to resolve current operational issues and congestions in certain areas, and also to cater for future passenger growth while capitalizing on new opportunities to spur economic growth in Kuching and Miri. Sarawak short take-off and landing ports, the stall ports, also require immediate action to address safety, cleanliness, and facility concerns. These starports need to be revamped to enhance the overall passenger experience and ensure the long-term sustainability of these rural transport hubs. Thus, it is timely to upgrade these airports, including starports, and we seek the federal government's approval for funding in the 5th rolling plan of the 12th Malaysia Plan. Acquisition of Maswing. Tuan Speaker, Sarawak government is taking significant strides in improving air connectivity with the acquisition of Maswing. I have led the task force created for this purpose and had engaged with the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, Khazanah Nasional Berhad, and Malaysia Aviation Group. This had led to the signing of 2 memorandum of understanding, namely 1, MOU signing between the Sarawak government and federal government on 20th July 2023 regarding the taking over of rural air services, RAS, by the Sarawak government. This agreement ensures that the RAS subsidy will continue after the takeover. 2, MOU signing between the Sarawak government, Hornbill Skyway Sdn Bhd, and Malaysia Aviation Group was held on 27 October 2023 on the acquisition of Maswing Sdn Bhd shares. Sarawak government is currently conducting due diligence and further negotiations with Malaysia Aviation Group and Khazanah Nasional Berhad on the actual acquisition of the Maswing shares. We firmly believe that the acquisition of Maswing is a strategic move to significantly enhance air connectivity within Sarawak and Sabah, fostering stronger ties with neighboring regions and Asian countries. We anticipate that this acquisition and operation will play a key role in bridging the air connectivity gap, facilitate trade and investment, unlock Sarawak's tourism potential, attract human capital, and generate a multiplier effect to boost Sarawak economy. Tuan Speaker, as we navigate the dynamic landscape of Sarawak development characterized by key projects and initiatives in the transport sector, our journey towards a sustainable and robust future is well underway. To ensure the success of these endeavors, my ministry is committed to implement strategies on policies, development, implementation, operation, and development of a skilled workforce to cater for the unique needs of Sarawak. Through concerted efforts with all relevant agencies, private entities, and international partnerships, we aim to shape a transport sector that not only meets the immediate needs of Sarawak, but also aligns with global sustainability standards. This will contribute significantly to the PCD's 2030 aspiration to foster economic growth, social inclusivity, and environmental sustainability, propelling Sarawak into the future characterized by connectivity, efficiency, and prosperity. Tuan Speaker, land transport and logistics sector. Progress of Kuching Urban Transportation System. I am pleased to provide this August House with the latest development of the Kuching Urban Transportation System, KUTS, with a particular emphasis on the Autonomous Rapid Transit Project. As of October 2023, the overall actual progress of KUTS Phase 1 stands at 14.43%. The capital expenditure has reached 403.43 million ringgit, reflecting the financial commitment to advancing this transformative project. The groundwork for the Rembus Depot as a central hub for the ART systems operations and administration is ongoing. To date, the progress stands at 33.54% and is scheduled to complete in the first quarter of 2024. Tuan Speaker, several other tenders for KUTS Phase 1 project are at various stages. The tender for Rembus Depot and associated works was closed in September this year. The scope of works encompass mechanical and infrastructure workshops, administration and operation control center, as well as a stapling yard. Subsequently, the tender for Red Line Package 1 including the scope of works for ART land, stations, systems, and utility works from Kuching Central to Pending, was closed on October 2023. In addition, the Blue Line Package 1 from Rembus to Stutong, incorporating the Sungai Kuak Bridge, was awarded to Ibraco Construction Sdn Bhd, China Railway Engineering Corporation Sdn Bhd, and Nanyang Tunnel Engineering Sdn Bhd joint venture on 10th of November 2023, with a contract sum amounting to 568.61 million ringgit. Tuan Speaker, progress and performance of autonomous rapid transit project and proof of concept. A significant milestone was achieved on 4th August 2023 when the prototype hydrogen ART vehicle arrived in Kuching, marking a crucial step in the project's timeline. Subsequently, the prototype ART hydrogen vehicle underwent a successful 2-month engineering run at Isthmus in September and October this year. Throughout the engineering run stages, the prototype ART vehicle has covered a total distance of 5,407 kilometers, encompassing both its Stage 1 engineering run in China and Stage 2 at Isthmus. The engineering run was inaugurated on 6 September by the Right Honourable Premier at Isthmus, Kuching, and has since provided trial rides to more than 80 groups of over 2,000 riders, comprising ministers and senior officers from both the federal and Sarawak government, including the Deputy Finance Minister too, MYTV Deputy Minister, both from the federal government, EU Ambassador, Penang's Chief Minister and Delegation, and Selangor Executive Councillor and Delegation, as well as stakeholders from the private sector and non-governmental organizations. This inclusive approach ensured that the diverse perspectives are contributed to the evaluation process. This trial phase fulfilled its objective of gathering the necessary data, especially for evaluating the ASK vehicle movement guidance system and the hydrogen fuel cell propulsion system. The acquired data is a crucial input for the ongoing design phase of the LRT vehicle before it progresses to the mass production stage. The engineering run at Isthmus concluded on 5th November, following which the prototype LRT vehicle, along with all associated equipment and inventory, was mobilized to Samarahan on 17th November for the continuation of the proof of concept exercise. The proof of concept, or POC, exercise commenced on 20th November on the dedicated 2.6 kilometer stretch of land along the Kuching-Samarahan Expressway. This exercise provides an opportunity to assess the viability of the system in an actual operational environment, as it stimulates the testing conditions for the future of ART dedicated double lane under the KUTS project's Blue Line and Transit Signal Priority TSP at the junction. The POC exercise is expected to conclude by the end of this year. At the same time, the following tasks will be initiated. 1. Commencement of works on Blue Line Package 1 from Rembus to Riveria starting on 1st September 2023. Commencement of works on Red Line from Kuching Central to Pending in Q1 2024. Green Line infrastructure package is currently under design stage and work is expected to commence by Q3 of 2024. The procurement of 55 feeder buses is targeted for retender in Q1 of 2024. The hydrogen production plant within Rembus Depot is targeted to tender in Q1 of 2024, and the feeder bus depot in Rembus Depot with the targeted tender by Q2 of 2024. Tuan Speaker, performance of hydrogen bus trial operation. The hydrogen bus trial operation has continued its commencement in September 2020. As of October 2023, the 3 units of buses have recorded a total of 46,374 passengers. The average monthly ridership of 2023 has notably surged to 1,832 passengers, making a 38% increase from the previous year's average of 1,331 passengers per month. The increase is attributed to rising public awareness and active participation in special events, signifying the positive impact of these buses on local transport. Tuan Speaker, public transport and urban traffic management. My ministry will continue to execute its mandated role in managing public transport and urban traffic by identifying and finding appropriate solutions on public transport issues. Collaboration of all parties, including grassroots leaders, is critical and vital to create an effective and efficient transport system in Sarawak, particularly in addressing traffic congestion in urban areas and transport services in the rural areas. Tuan Speaker, Sarawak Road Safety Council. The Sarawak Road Safety Council, under my ministry, prioritizes road safety as there is an imperative need for heightened awareness in Sarawak. Road accidents in Sarawak are indeed alarming. Based on the Royal Malaysia Police Department report presented during the program Kolloquium Penguatkuasaan Keselamatan Jalan Raya tahun 2023, which was held on 20th November, Sarawak has recorded a total of 17,699 road accidents between January until October 2023. Out of these 7,699 road accidents, 301 are fatal accident cases, with 349 deaths and 122 serious accidents. These figures contribute to the total of 495,698 reported accidents in Malaysia for the same period. There are 27,793 cases of road accident in 2022 compared to 20,788 cases in 2021, which shows an increase of 33.6%. Based on these statistics, motorcars vehicles recorded the highest number and accounts for more than half of the total number of cases, followed by four-wheel drive vehicles and motorcycles. Therefore, continuous education and awareness campaign as well as enforcement activities are critical road safety strategies to reduce accidents on the road. In this regard, my ministry, through the Council and collaboration with various stakeholders, are implementing various awareness programs and initiatives to increase public awareness on road safety. This includes the upgrading of the existing traffic gardens and the revival of traffic game. Tuan Speaker, Transport Awareness Behavioral Change, or TABC program. In addition to road safety program, my ministry is also addressing the traffic situation in school. This is part of the road safety strategy that by educating the young children, they may influence their parents to be more responsible whenever they are on the road. This year, my ministry with the Resident Office has organized the Transport Awareness Behavioral Change TABC program in Miri and Kuching Division. The program targets young school children, parents and teachers with the objective to address road users' behavior and improve road safety. The same program will be held in Sri Aman tentatively in December this year. Recognizing the media's influential role, we will continue and strengthen our collaboration with the media, enforcement departments and agencies to further educate the public on road safety. Tuan Speaker, performance of RM1 flat rate bus fare subsidy program. Since the implementation of this program in May 2020, the ridership has increased from approximately 200,000 ridership per month in 2020 to an average of 350 ridership per month in 2023. This indicates a good response from the rakyat to use public bus transport for the daily commute, particularly the B40 group. One of the positive impacts of this program is that the number of stage buses operating in Sarawak has increased by 15% from 107 buses in 2020 to 124 buses in 2023. With more buses on the roads, commuters can expect shorter waiting times and more frequencies, making public transport a more reliable, convenient and attractive option. In this regard, my ministry is currently reviewing the implementation of the RM1 bus fare subsidy due to the increase in operating costs and expenditure of the program. Therefore, this program will be evaluated and a more effective model will be introduced for the rakyat. Free school bus program. Tuan Speaker, the implementation of the free school bus program, which was introduced in July 2020, has benefited students under the B40 group. It was recorded as of 31st October 2023 that a total of 6,334 students in 56 schools in Kuching, 23 in Kuching, 6 in Cebu, and 27 in Miri participated in this program. The introduction of the digitalized electronic card, My Yayasan system in Kuching and Miri division this year has helped Yayasan Sarawak to track the actual number of students under the B40 group in this program. Tuan Speaker, implementation of smart traffic lights. One of the key initiatives to reshape our urban traffic management is by implementing the smart traffic lights using the Sydney Coordinated Adaptive Traffic System, or SCATS, to significantly enhance transport efficiency and safety within the city. The intelligent traffic lights are powered by real-time data and artificial intelligence, or AI, allowing adaptive signal timing that reduces congestion, travel times, and increases overall safety. Collaboration with City Council, transport agencies, and law enforcement is fundamental to the success of this endeavor. We are taking a phased approach, starting with selected junctions, ensuring a seamless integration that would not disrupt current traffic patterns. Presently, Sarawak boasts 164 SCAT traffic lights with varying numbers managed by the Public Works Department and the City Council, such as Kuching North and Kuching South and BKS City Councils. Our plan is to expand this technology to cover more intersections, promising further improvement in traffic flow and safety. Tuan Speaker, my ministry remains committed to enhancing urban mobility to better serve the needs of the rakyat. This includes the ongoing improvement of public stage bus services, as well as the accessibility and affordability of public transport for all income groups. Hence, my ministry will continue to collaborate with all relevant agencies in the planning and development of Sarawak transport sector to realize its transformational initiatives. Tuan Speaker, riverine and maritime transport sector. Performance of riverine and maritime transport sector. Let me highlight the progress and performance of the maritime and riverine sector. My ministry, through Sarawak Rivers Board and Sarawak Buoys and Light Board, is committed to stimulate river economy by upgrading various aids to navigation and improving riverine infrastructures and landing facilities along our rivers. This initiative is aimed towards enhancing navigational safety and riverine transportation, particularly for bulk goods. Given Sarawak's strategic location on the northern shore of Borneo Island, situated on the east, west, and southbound sea routes, we are determined to capitalize on this advantage to strengthen our economic growth through increased commerce along the sea routes. Tuan Speaker, Sarawak Rivers Board. Now I would like to enlighten this August House on the key focus area and performance of Sarawak Rivers Board, an agency under the purview of my ministry. As of October 2023, Sarawak River Board has processed and approved 203 applications of permits consisting of 23 pipeline and cable laying, 31 water sports activities, 82 building of wharves, jetties and bridges, 43 riverbank reserve, 19 aquaculture and 5 applications for sand gravels extraction. In ensuring river safety, Sarawak River Board is continuously carrying out river patrols in the 36 gazetted rivers to ensure river users comply with the rules and riverine good practice. To date, SRB has conducted 895 river patrols, 138 enforcement operations, 837 vessels, and 181 premises inspection. A total of 34 compounds were issued. Tuan Speaker, River Safety and Cleaners Campaign. Sarawak River Board is also carrying out regular river safety and cleaners campaign with communities residing along rivers. During this campaign, agencies such as Bomba, Medical Department, Natural Resources and Environmental Board, NREB, and Department of Agriculture are invited to participate. Recognizing the importance of preserving our rivers, Sarawak Rivers Board consistently organizes community programs to clean up rivers for safer navigation, recreational purposes, and also ecological conservation. This campaign plays a crucial role in raising awareness among local communities about the importance of keeping our rivers clean and safe. The program instills the value of "I love my river" in all communities in Sarawak and fosters a commitment to preserve rivers, particularly in areas with tourism potential. For this year, SRB has conducted 27 river safety and cleaners campaign programs at various locations throughout Sarawak. One such program was held for over 2 days from 22nd to 23rd September in Mulu. The program was organized in collaboration with the Marine Department Sarawak region and an insurance company, and it was attended by 84 tourist boat operators. During the program, the boatmen and boat operators were briefed and reminded to adhere strictly to safety rules, regulations, and procedures before embarking on any journey on the river. A strong emphasis was also placed on ensuring passenger safety, making it mandatory for all individuals traveling on the river to wear life jackets. Additionally, the program facilitated the processing and approval of 19 river transport permits and the renewal of 37 river transport permits. Tuan Speaker, Sarawak Boys and Light Board. The Sarawak Boys and Light Board, another agency under the purview of my ministry, is responsible for the safety of navigation in Sarawak waters. For the information of this august House, Sarawak Boys and Light Board is a member of the International Association of Marine Aids to Navigation and Lighthouse Authorities, IALA. Since 1995, Sarawak Boys and Light Board has constructed and maintained 7 lighthouses, 45 light beacons, and 45 light beacons, and 72 units of marker buoys. These aids to navigation, or ATONs, adhere to ISO 9000 standards by Lloyd's registration, with compliant rates of the lighthouses at 99%, light beacons at 98%, and marker buoys at 97% as per IALA standards. The board is continuously upgrading the ATONs in line with the latest technology to enhance shipping safety. This is important to further improve the shipping and maritime industries in Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, the performance of riverine and maritime sector is satisfactory with minimal accidents and no fatalities from boat accidents. This is a notable improvement of river cleanliness from human-induced pollution. Furthermore, the understanding and responsibility of local communities regarding the safety and cleanliness of rivers have also improved. Tuan Speaker, air connectivity and aviation industry, performance of Sarawak aviation industry. Allow me to provide an update on the aviation sector. For the information of this august House, the total number of aircraft and passengers movement to all airports and stall ports in Sarawak from January until the third quarter of this year are 97,129 aircraft movements carrying 7.8 million passengers. The flights are mainly from Kuala Lumpur, Kota Kinabalu, Johor Bahru, Penang, Kota Baru, Labuan, Bandar Seri Begawan, Jakarta, and Singapore. For the same period, a total of 41,890 tons of cargo was transported. This cargo includes electrical and electronic goods, oil and gas equipment, e-commerce goods, dangerous goods which include flammable materials, perishable goods such as fruits and fresh flowers, and a general cargo such as fabrics and clothing. Tuan Speaker, Malaysia domestic flight. For Malaysia domestic flight, after the suspension of My Airlines operation on 12 October 2023, Sarawak received an average of 372 flights weekly from Kuala Lumpur, Kota Kinabalu, Johor Bahru, Penang, Kota Baru, and Labuan. The routes are now served by 5 airlines, namely Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia, Batak Air, Firefly, and Maswing. Kuching International Airport received the most flight frequency, which is 180 flights weekly, followed by Miri Airport with 89 flights, Sibu Airport 49 flights, Bintulu Airport 32 flights, Mulu 7, Lawas 2, and Limbang with 3 flights respectively. Tuan Speaker, flights within Sarawak. For Sarawak domestic flights, there are 624 flights weekly connecting Sarawak major cities, towns, and rural settlements under the Rural Air RAS services. Miri Airport handles the highest number with 189 flights weekly, followed by Kuching Airport with 144 flights, Sibu Airport 63 flights, Bintulu Airport with 40 flights, and the rest to smaller airports and store ports respectively. The flight operations are operated by AirAsia, Firefly, and Maswing. Tuan Speaker, international flights. As at November 2023, the international flights to Sarawak are recorded at 40 flights weekly, mostly from Singapore with 35 flights weekly, 3 flights weekly from Jakarta, Indonesia, and 2 flights weekly from Negara Brunei Darussalam. Kuching International Airport receives 31 flights weekly, followed by Miri Airport with 6 flights, and Sibu Airport with 3 flights respectively. The routes were served by AirAsia Berhad, AirAsia Indonesia, Malaysia Airlines Berhad, Scoot Tiger Airways, and Royal Brunei Airline. For the information of this August House, AirAsia is set to suspend its flights for Singapore Miri and Singapore Sibu routes from February 2024, citing operational strategies. I personally discussed this matter with the AirAsia management team, urging them to reconsider the decision or alternatively reduce the frequency of these routes to meet the required load capacity. As of now, we are waiting for concrete feedback from the management team. On the other hand, I've also discussed with the management team of Singapore Airlines and Scoot Airlines in September to increase Scoot's airline frequency from Singapore to Kuching and Miri. During the discussion, Scoot Airline has also agreed in principle to operate the route from Singapore to Cebu, tentatively planned to commence after the delivery of the new aircraft in 2024. Tuan Speaker, suspension of My Airline operation. My Airline has ceased its 6-flight daily operation to Sarawak from Kuala Lumpur since 12 October 2023. We are indeed very disappointed with My Airline's abrupt decision to suspend their flight operation. This has caused a great deal of inconvenience and unhappiness among passengers who have purchased their air ticket in advance until March 2024. It was estimated that approximately 24,260 passengers inbound and outbound of Sarawak were affected by the suspension. My ministry deems it irresponsible for My Airline management for failing to provide prior notice regarding the suspension. My ministry applauds the support and good works of the Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM, MAHB, and all the airlines, namely Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia, and Batak Air, for their cooperation, assistance, and caring spirit given to all the affected passengers. MAVCOM has also assured that all necessary effort assistance will be provided to the affected passengers. Among the assistance given were 1. All affected passengers may change the flights to the other airlines that are offering discounted airfares. 2. MAHB has deployed its resources at relevant airports within its network to extend all possible assistance to the stranded passengers. 3. MAVCOM has set up the Commission's consumer hotline at 1-800-18-6966 within Malaysia, or by email at consumer@mavcom.my or inquiries at flysmart.my. On the refund of airfares, all affected passengers are requested to contact My Airline Customer Care Service at customercare@myairline.my to initiate the refund process and at the same time submit the inquiries or file the complaint to MAVCOM Consumer Hotline. Tuan Speaker, Aviation Safety Awareness Campaign. The Ministry of Transport Sarawak, in collaboration with the aviation stakeholders, namely Malaysia Airports in Berhad, the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, MASWing, and the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, have organized the Aviation Safety Awareness Campaign in Mulu Airport on 22nd and 23rd September. The event was attended by an estimated 200 participants from the local community. The objective of the awareness program was to educate the local community on flight safety procedures. This is to ensure that the community members were well informed about the essential safety measures within and around the airport vicinity. Tuan Speaker, additional flights during festive seasons. My ministry is fully aware of the demand of air travel during festive occasions and school holidays. In this regard, my ministry is working closely with the Ministry of Transport in Malaysia, MAVCOM, MAHB, and the airlines to ensure that flights and seats are at reasonable prices are available to various destinations before, during, and after the festive season. While the airlines are offering extra flights and reasonable airfares, my ministry would like to encourage travelers to plan their journeys ahead and book their flights early. This is to mitigate any potential shortcomings at an early stage and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to fly home and celebrate the joyous festival with their loved ones. Tuan Speaker, airfare, flight rescheduling and cancellation. Globally, airfares are determined by dynamic pricing and mechanisms that are based on demand and market conditions. Thus, the increase in airfares are unavoidable. Meanwhile, flight rescheduling and cancellation are mostly due to unforeseen technical and operational issues as well as bad weather conditions. I would like to inform that most complaints on flight rescheduling and refunds are handled directly by the airlines with the assistance from MAVCOM under the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code, or MCPC. If passengers remain dissatisfied with the airline's response, they have the option to escalate the complaints to MAVCOM through the MAVCOM website or www.flysmart.my. Tuan Speaker, strengthening Sarawak's transport sector. Sarawak Transport Conference, 6 September 2023. In an effort to advance the transport sector in Sarawak, fostering knowledge and understanding is important. Recognizing this, my ministry organized the inaugural Sarawak Transport Conference 2023 with the theme Transport Sector, Accelerating Tourism, Trade and Investment in Brunei, Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area, or BIMYAGA region. This event was attended by approximately 500 participants from government agencies and transport stakeholders in the BIMYAGA region. This conference featured distinguished experts and speakers who presented 12 papers on sustainable transport and mobility, enhancing regional connectivity, trade and investment facilitation, as well as tourism development and connectivity. The platform provided valuable exposure and knowledge to the delegates. The discussion also highlighted the crucial role of the transport sector as an enabler for economic growth and social inclusivity, while imparting insights on the significance of transport planning and development. Tuan Speaker, regional cooperation, the 10th Brunei, Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area, BIMYAGA Transport Cluster Meeting 7 to 8 September 2023. The Sarawak government, represented by Ministry, had the honor to host the 10th Bimyaga Transport Cluster meeting in Kuching from 7 to 8 September 2023. The meeting was attended by senior government officials, Bimyaga business councils, and the private sector from each country. My ministry is also tasked as the head of delegation for the Malaysian government. In the meeting, pertinent key regional transport issues were discussed under the 3 working groups, namely Land Transport Working Group, Sea Linkages Working Group, and Air Linkages Working Group. The notable recommendations made by the working groups and agreed by the Transport Cluster meeting are as follows. 1. The member countries of the Land Transport Working Committee agreed that each member country will form a task force to review the MOUs, namely the cross-border movement of commercial buses and coaches signed on 2nd November 2007, and transit and interstate of goods signed on 25th June 2009. This is to ensure the MOUs are updated as per the ASEAN framework and the current post-COVID-19 rules and regulations enforced by the member countries. B. In addition, member countries of the Sea Linkages Working Group also agreed to review the policies, legislation, and MOU on establishing and promoting efficient and integrated sea linkages signed on 2nd November 2007. The working group also agreed with Malaysia that the operation of the non-convention size ship NCS within the waters of Bimyaga needs further discussion to harmonize the required specific technical standard that concern the member countries. A task force will be formed for this purpose. C. Malaysia also highlighted in the Air Linkages Working Group that the Bimyaga routes connecting Sarawak, Malaysia, and Pontianak, West Kalimantan, Indonesia, have been suspended since March 2022. In the meeting, Malaysia has proposed to the Indonesian government to resume operation of the Supadio International Airport in Pontianak, West Kalimantan, Indonesia, and expressed AirAsia's Malaysia's readiness to resume Kuching Pontianak operation. The representative of the Indonesian government informed that the airport is scheduled to start operation for international flight in 2024. D. Additionally, Malaysia recommended exploring a collaborative effort between the tourism cluster and airlines to jointly promote and market intra-Bimyaga tourist movement aiming to boost tourism and the regional economy. Malaysia, through the Ministry of Economy, as the Bimyaga National Secretariat for Malaysia, raised the same recommendation to the ministerial meetings intervention which was held in Negara Brunei Saram on 26 October 2023. Tuan Speaker, response to specific issues raised by honourable members of this August House. The honourable member for Pending. Tuan Speaker, I would like to refer the honourable member for Pending for concern on the autonomous rapid transit. Before I begin, I would like to inform this August House that I will give a detailed explanation on autonomous rapid transit. I hope the honourable member for Pending will cooperate and listen attentively to get the facts right. For the information of this August House, the ART is a component of the Kuching Urban Transportation System, KUTS project. KUTS project is a transformative initiative aimed at enhancing public transport in the city and its surrounding areas. In line with Sarawak's commitment to environmental sustainability and the global target to adopt green technology, the hydrogen-powered autonomous rapid transit was chosen to be the backbone of this game-changing project, using state-of-the-art technology with competitive costs compared to other urban rail transit projects. Tuan Speaker, the KUTS project consists of multiple package tenders for its various components, such as studies, design, engineering, construction, manufacturing, supply, delivery, assembly, testing, and commissioning. Phase 1 of the KUTS project involves ART approximately 69.9 kilometers route that consists of 3 lines and 31 stations, with 1 interchange station between the blue and red line. The blue line is about 27.6 kilometers in length, with 14 stations from Rumbus to the Hitma exchange area. The red line is about 12.3 kilometers in length, with 7 stations from Kuching Central to Pending, and the green line is about 30 kilometers in length, with 5 stations from Pending to Damai Central. The dedicated lanes for the ART will consist of approximately 80% at grade or road level and 20% elevated, including bridges, ART stations, utility relocations, road widening, and land acquisition. The component of the project consists of 1. Infrastructure works covering 2 depots, Rumbus Heavy Maintenance Depot and Sungai Batu Light Maintenance Depot. Facilities for the depot consist of administration and operation control center building, mechanical workshop, infrastructure workshop, stabling yard, test yard, wash plant, mechanical and electrical building, and hydrogen refilling station. 2. System works consists of 10 systems, namely 38 units of hydrogen vehicles, automated platform gates, signaling and control system, including transit signal priority, depot equipment maintenance vehicles, supervisory control and data acquisition, communication, automatic fare collection, information technology system, operation control center, and computerized maintenance management system. And 3. Feeder bus depot at Rumbus, consisting of administration building, engineering block, stapling yard, depot equipment for bus maintenance, hydrogen refilling station, 55 hydrogen buses, and bus information system. For the information of the member for Pending, the procurement of ART hydrogen vehicle is a complex process, unlike typical purchases such as purchasing a car or buying groceries at a supermarket. The project implementation and management involve proper planning, design, procurement, and sharing of each technical aspect of the ART vehicle to ensure that the various components contracts are properly integrated with the completion target gate. The advanced procurement strategy of the ART hydrogen vehicle is based on international tender exercise. In 2021, an international pre-qualification was conducted by Sarawak Metro, and the tender was advertised on Sarawak Metro's website, local newspapers, and international journals. This was carried out following the best practices to optimize costs and secure a stable supply of the ART hydrogen vehicle, which is specially designed for the KUTS project. The manufacturing of these ART vehicles will be carried out progressively and delivered in stages according to the project timeline, with the first batch expected in the third quarter of 2024. The expected scheduled delivery of ART vehicles will be about 2 units between 1 to 2 months per shipment, subject to shipment schedule, local final assembly, testing, and commissioning. Therefore, not all 38 units will be shipped at one time. It is imperative to award the ART hydrogen vehicle now to establish design integration with other ART systems and civil infrastructure related to the hydrogen vehicle. All this goes to show that the member for Pending is ignorant when she questioned the award of the procurement of the rolling stock before completing the infrastructure. Furthermore, I would like to highlight that the procurement and overall tender and evaluation processes involve multiple stages. The processes adhere strictly to transparent and integrity-driven governance. Therefore, tenderers are required to meet the strict technical and financial prerequisites to progress to the subsequent commercial evaluation phase. Only those meeting these criteria will undergo an assessment of the commercial proposals, with the final selection based on commercial pricing. One speaker, the KUTS Phase 1 project approximate cost per kilometer is 80 million ringgit, covering a total length of 69.9 kilometers, which include land acquisition costs, ART hydrogen vehicles, feeder buses, infrastructures, and depot, etc. Comparatively, the latest LRT project, the LRT3 in Kuala Lumpur has significantly higher cost per kilometer. The LRT3 project, with a length of 37.6 kilometers in Kuala Lumpur, cost 20 billion ringgit, which is approximately 540 million per kilometer. Therefore, in comparison, this would mean that the ART's per kilometer cost is approximately 1/6 of the price of the LRT project in Kuala Lumpur that commenced in 2017. The ART vehicle procured in the System Package 1 contract was awarded to EPR Mobiler's GR joint venture Sdn Bhd at 1.425 billion, which involves the design, engineering, procurement, manufacture, assembly, supply, delivery, installation, testing and commissioning and handover of hydrogen vehicles, depot and equipment and maintenance vehicles, automatic platform gates, and signaling and control system. Therefore, it is clear that the tender is a package, not a single item. The tenderer meets all the technical and financial criteria, and it is the lowest tender. Mr. Speaker, I would like to give assurance that stringent monitoring procedures have been implemented to ensure that the project stays within the approved budget. As of today, the current awarded packages are within the estimated project budget. My ministry is overseeing this project to ensure that all procurement activities are aligned with Sarawak government's project procurement policy. Additionally, my ministry also prioritizes overall cost-saving measures through sound project management. I would also like to inform that it is not relevant to compare the pricing of ART hydrogen vehicles and ART electric vehicles, as they use different technologies and energy sources with its own unique characteristics. Mr. Speaker, I would like to enlighten this August House on the difference between ART electric vehicle and ART hydrogen vehicle. For the comparison of distance, electric vehicles' total distance coverage is 70 kilometers at full charge, whereas the full tank hydrogen fuel cell vehicle can travel up to 240 kilometers. The ART electric vehicle is powered by lithium batteries. Rechargeable lithium batteries have a limited lifespan and will gradually lose the capacity to hold a charge. This loss of capacity or aging is irreversible. As the battery loses capacity, the length of time it takes to power the product runtime decreases. Furthermore, the improper disposal of lithium batteries can have severe implications to the natural environment. It can be noted that the recycling of the EV batteries is a less cost-effective and not environmentally sustainable option compared to hydrogen fuel cells. The limitation of battery technology in electric vehicles also affects the electric vehicles' capability of traveling long distances. On the other hand, hydrogen as a fuel source offers higher energy density, providing longer range and quicker refilling times. Mr. Speaker, adoption of hydrogen energy. The worldwide interest in green hydrogen is expanding rapidly. There is a global shift towards hydrogen adoption, driven by commitment to combat environmental issues and the increasing emphasis on sustainable solutions. In land transport, for example, China is actively promoting hydrogen-powered vehicles, signaling a move away from subsidies for electric vehicles. In the aviation sector, hydrogen is gaining recognition as a promising zero-emission technology for future aircraft. Industry leaders such as Boeing and Airbus are investing in hydrogen propulsion technology, with Airbus planning to launch its first commercial hydrogen-powered aircraft by 2035. In the marine industry, the shipping sector, which is known for significant efficiency, is actively exploring hydrogen-powered vessels. Companies globally, including Compagnie Maritime Berg in Belgium, Ulsten in Norway, and Compagnie Fluvial de Transport in France, are developing hydrogen-powered ferries, tugboats, and cargo vessels. The KOTS project, featuring hydrogen-powered autonomous rapid transit vehicle, is seamlessly aligned with Sarawak hydrogen agenda. This showcases Sarawak's commitment with global endeavors for sustainable and environmentally friendly transport solutions. Furthermore, based on the working paper by World Energy Council, the cost of production in 2030 is expected to decline, to go down and to reach USD 2 to USD 6 per kilogram and USD $1 per kilogram or lower by the year 2050 due to reducing renewable electricity costs and hydrogen technologies following technology improvements and economies of scale. In the case of Sarawak, we are fortunate to have access to renewable energy resources, especially hydropower, which should be harnessed to power the hydrogen electrolysis plant. Furthermore, our electricity cost is also the cheapest in the region. Sarawak is at the forefront of the green hydrogen agenda, which is expanding in collaboration with investors from South Korea and Japan to develop 2 major green hydrogen production plants in Bintulu. Tuan Speaker, one of the most significant returns on the investment in this project is the reduction in the environmental impact of public transportation through the usage of green hydrogen energy, which subscribes with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of reducing carbon emission. It is also improved the quality of life of the people living in Greater Kuching by improving and enhancing mobility through an environmentally sustainable system of public transportation. Once fully completed, the KUTS project will create numerous intangible benefits and socio-economic spillover effects, including greater job opportunities, more efficient mobility, and urban rejuvenation, which are among some of the key returns of the Sarawak government's investment in transforming the public transport system in Greater Kuching. Tuan Speaker, having given all the facts on the processes and implementation of ART projects, I hope the member for Pending will have good understanding of the subject matter and do not make assumptions and jump to self-conclusion which can mislead the public. Tuan Speaker, for the information of the honourable member for Bukit Asek, my ministry has commissioned the Sarawak Integrated Transport Master Plan study, which is expected to be completed in 2024. One of the focuses of this study includes the analysis on traffic management-related issues such as traffic congestion. The study will also carry out demand forecasting and the analysis of trip generation, vehicle ownership, trip distribution, and the overall traffic flow of Cebu. Tuan Speaker, the Honourable for Katibas, for information of the Honourable Member for Katibas on the issue of bus terminal and longboard terminal in Katibas, my ministry is planning to do a preliminary survey on the needs to construct an integrated bus and longboard terminal. My ministry will bid for funds for this project in the 13th Malaysian Plan. Tuan Speaker, strengthening of Ministry of Transport Sarawak, my ministry is committed to ensure the transport sector development, particularly public transport, is in tandem with Sarawak's aspiration to achieve a developed status by 2030, where the people enjoy economic prosperity, social inclusivity, and sustainable environment. Tuan Speaker, being one of the enablers of the 6 economic sectors anchoring the PCDS 2030, my ministry is progressing considerably well in laying all the necessary foundations for economic growth and development, such as governance and planning processes, exploring potential public-private partnership opportunities, as well as identifying supportive regulatory framework for the development of the transport sector in Sarawak. Tuan Speaker, review of policy and procedures. In view of this, my ministry needs to strengthen its mandate and authority as a transport planning authority in Sarawak with the international, federal, and local institutions. Hence, my ministry will continue to work closely with the Sarawak Attorney General Office to review existing rules and regulations pertaining to transport matters in Sarawak. This strategic engagement is aimed to identify issues, solutions, as well as to reduce legal gaps between Ministry of Transport Sarawak and the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, including other federal government departments and agencies. Tuan Speaker, digital exhibition in conjunction with the 60 years Sarawak Merdeka anniversary celebration. The digital exhibition held in 12 locations throughout Sarawak in conjunction with the Sarawak Merdeka Anniversary Celebration from 26 May 2023 until 22nd July 2023 have provided an opportunity for my ministry to promote and showcase its roles and functions to the rakyat and industry players. The event is also used to gauge the rakyat's perception and expectations on the Sarawak's public transport services, as well as the awareness and knowledge of road and river safety. The feedback is valuable as it enables my ministry to make informed decisions and necessary adjustments towards our plan and strategies to meet our rakyat's needs and expectations. Tuan Speaker, Ministry of Transport Strategic Planning and Action Plan 2030. My ministry has reviewed its Strategic Planning and Action Plan 2030 in March and September this year. This is ensure that the Strategic Planning and Action Plan 2030 provide a clear direction for the success and sustainability of the Ministry of Transport Sarawak, as well as achieving the PCDA's 2030 goals by optimizing resources and adapting to change. This is to enhance decision-making, teamwork, and collaboration, reducing silos and promoting a unified organizational culture. The review also looked into account feedback received from the rakyat through surveys conducted during the digital exhibition and Tarikh Hikmat. The action plan will be measured by the implementation of the Ministry's balanced scorecard with effect from January 2024. The implementation of this strategic planning will further enhance our performance and service delivery to the rakyat and overall contribute actively to the realization of PCDA's 2030. Tuan Speaker, talent development to strategic partnership. The existence of the Ministry of Transport Sarawak is now recognized internationally. Since January 2023, Ministry of Transport Sarawak has been invited to participate in various transport and mobility seminars, conferences, as well as training overseas. The most notable conference attended by Ministry of Transport Sarawak was the Public Transport Summit in Barcelona, Spain, organized by the International Association of Public Transport, UITP, from 3rd until 9 July 2023. In the foregoing, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Transport Sarawak was invited to attend the 22nd UITP Asia Pacific Annual Meeting on 1st until 3rd November 2023 at Hong Kong, at the same time present a paper on transport in Sarawak. I am pleased to announce that Ministry of Transport Sarawak is now a member of the International Association of Public Transport, a non-profit member-led organization for public transport authorities, networks and operators and policy decision makers. It also includes scientific institutes and the public transport supply and service industry that work to advance sustainable urban mobility. The UITP headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium. To date, Ministry of Transport Sarawak has presented 6 papers on transport and mobility in Sarawak regionally and internationally. Tuan Speaker, my ministry is continuously searching for talent who can be trained on the subject of transport and mobility in compliance with Sustainable Development Goals. Thus, Ministry of Transport Sarawak established its Human Resource Capacity Building Plan to ensure Ministry of Transport Sarawak Human Resource Management and Development Plans meet its strategic goals and operational plans. Since January 2023, a number of officers from my ministry have had the opportunity to attend various conferences, training and study trips internationally and locally. My ministry had the opportunity to dispatch 3 officers to undergo training programs on urban planning and public transportation and railway planning and construction for South and Southeast Asian countries in China, fully sponsored by the Ministry of Commerce, People's Republic of China. Another 2 officers attended the Urban Mobility Program for foreign public officials and the Human Resource Development Program on Railway Policy and Safety Costs, which were also fully sponsored by the Seoul Metropolitan Government and the Ministry of Land Infrastructure and Transport, South Korea, respectively. In addition, Ministry of Transport Sarawak had also sent officers to attend the 15th International Conference of the Eastern Asia Society for Transportation Studies, Women in Rail Malaysia Conference 2023, Colloquium Penguatkuasaan Keselamatan Jalan Raya tahun 2023, and many other transport-related conferences in Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. These training and development programs will not only enhance the knowledge and skill on transport and mobility, but also contribute to the overall strength, effectiveness, and efficiency of the ministry. This will further strengthen Ministry of Transport Sarawak workforce competencies in dealing with the complex aspect of transportation issues in Sarawak while providing services to the rakyat. Tuan Speaker, before I end my winding up speech, I am pleased to reflect on my ministry's transformative journey and express our vision for the state's transformation's future. As we navigate the post-COVID-19 challenges, strategic adaptation is crucial for progress. My ministry, at the forefront of effort, has championed regional connectivity and sustainable development through initiatives like the Sarawak Integrated Transport Master Plan. My ministry is working to make travel better for everyone, whether by land, air, rivers, or seas. Rebuilding our economy and society after COVID-19 is not an easy task, but we are committed to it. Our plan, called the Sarawak Integrated Transport Master Plan, shows how we are working on making travel easier in Sarawak. The post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030 is our guide to making things better overall. To conclude, I want to express my profound gratitude to my deputies, permanent secretary, and staff who have been my pillars of support for their commitment, dedication, and relentless pursuit to overcome challenges and transform the transport sector in Sarawak. A special acknowledgement goes to all the agencies and stakeholders that have collaborated with my ministry, especially Ministry of Transport Malaysia and agencies under the purview, including the Malaysian Aviation Commission, Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, Road Transport Department, JPJ Sarawak, Sarawak Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board, Royal Malaysia Police, and Marine Department Sarawak. Additionally, appreciation extends to Sarawak Rivers Board, Sarawak Boys and Light Boards, Public Works Department Sarawak, Sarawak Road Safety Council, Sarawak Economic Development Corporation, Sarawak Metro, members of SPTC and SUPMEC, including those at the divisional level. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to Yang Berhormat Dato' Amar Secretary, Yang Arif Dato' State Attorney General, and Yang Berbahagia Dato' Sri State Financial Secretary for their continued support. Last but not least, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Tan Sri Dato' Amar Speaker and the team for their dedication and efficiency in handling the proceedings of this August House. And before I conclude, saya ingin menurunkan 4 rangkap pantun. 6 dekad bukannya muda, Sarawak kian berubah wajah. ART hampir terlaksana sudah, kini airlines membuka langkah. Membeli durian di Kota Padawan untuk dibawa ke Pekan Sendiawan. Kementerian Penghutan kini tumpuan sebagai tonggak meneraju kemajuan. Guanya tiada tandingan, tumpuan pelancong pelbagai umur. Kerajaan GPS tiada bandingan, melahirkan Sarawak yang maju dan makmur. Buah dabai lemak berisi. Sekali makan, pasti nak lagi. Hujan pembangkang tiada berisi. Silalah balik belajar lagi. Tuan Speaker, akhir sekali saya ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan selamat Hari Christmas, selamat Tahun Baru 2024 dan selamat Tahun Baru Cina kepada semua rakyat Sarawak yang akan menyambutnya. Semoga Sarawak terus maju, makmur, kekal harmoni serta diberkati. Tuan Speaker, I wish to express my full support for the supply bill 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Menteri Pengangkutan Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin for a very lengthy, profound and comprehensive winding up. Saya pun ada satu rangkap pantun ya. Empat rangkap pantun. Dari Seratok pergi ke Sibu, singgah di Meradong membeli ragi. Pagi esok kita bertemu agar mesyuarat bersambung lagi. Yang berhormat sekalian, the sitting is now adjourned and the House shall resume its sitting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, inshallah.